Hi, this is Amrita Sukumar, and I'm bringing to you this podcast called Unsettling. Look around you. Everyone is trying to create their own story. Make a tiny change in someone's life by just following their passion and in turn, inspiring the others to follow suit. This podcast brings to you stories of people who have defied the definition of settled set by the society and have created their own. They have found happiness in their version of settled. What is yours?
Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another. This energy is around us and within us. And to learn more about how it affects our day-to-day life, I have with me today an energy healer, Priya Shah ma'am. Hello ma'am, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. I'm thriving through this COVID
Yes.
situation. I hope you are too.
Yes.
So ma'am, can you tell the listeners about your journey? How did you choose energy healing and why this path?
So this goes back around 21 years back, or more than that, probably. I was just a young graduate, just graduated in my law and commerce, and had finished my computer management. Like every other aspiring person, even I was very into my career, and I wanted to become an entrepreneur. And I chose a finance company to work with. And I was very good in my career, got very good opportunities very early in my life. And suddenly, as you say that, it is a universal calling. So there was a U-turn in my life, and it came like I became very ill. And I was going through I had suddenly developed a falciparum malaria, meningitis. And in 5 days, doctor gave up on me. Luckily, in my family, I had my parents who had done energy healing or Reiki, they had learned. So they used to heal me, but being very logical, being in law and practical world, it was not easy for me to comprehend what was it.
Right.
So when doctors gave up on me, and then when my mother and my father and their teacher, they healed me through and pulled me back from from that time. And I was surprised, and I was taken back when doctors were saying that we cannot save her even after putting on ventilator. There is no guarantee that she will survive.
Oh.
And within 3-4 hours, there was a miraculous change that happened. And it made me think, it made me curious as to what is energy and how does this work. Earlier, I used to think that, it is just a good feeling, good faith that my parents are doing it with so much of love, so it is giving some results. But then after, when I went through this, it actually made me think, and I started researching on what is energy, how does it work, and what is a human connect with this energy.
Right.
And that is how I began my journey at the age of 24. I learned my first basic level of Reiki, and I started my journey with Reiki. Without even knowing what it was, I only knew that, you have to place hands and you get healed.
Right.
But I didn't know the science behind it. But when I did first level, and my journey began from there, and till date, there is no looking back. My whole life has changed. And from being corporate into the corporate world, I am totally into a healing world, and this is a beautiful spiritual world which I'm enjoying now.
Wow, wonderful. When you said that you learned Reiki, so did you go somewhere and was there a guru who passed on this knowledge to you?
Guru is a very big word. Yes, there are plenty of teachers, and I'm lucky that I had teacher, mentor, guru, guide, everything in my mother.
Oh, okay.
So I learned my basic level from my mother when she became a teacher in Reiki.
Okay.
So it was, she was my first initiator in Reiki. Then, of course, there were plenty of teachers who entered my life, and with their knowledge, with their awakening, there are lots of changes. But my first change came through my mother.
Okay.
And she taught me the first level. After doing, as I said, I was just 24 years. I was very energetic and, very short-tempered, very ambitious. So first 21 days of practice actually shook me when I saw that my reactions have changed.
Oh.
I was much calmer, and I was much with more of stamina. There was no anger. There was no snapping at small things, and I could see those changes. And I could not believe that, just by practice and just by a touch healing, how all these major transformations can happen. But they were happening slowly. I pursued, and then I learned after 21 days, I did my second level, where it's a distance healing, where you can heal. I was again more amused. How can you heal somebody who is not physically present?
Correct.
But it worked, and people started giving me good responses. Oh, are this problem resolved? And I had swelling and it has gone, and I was very jittery in my interview, and interview went off well.
Wow.
And I was just doing it without putting my logical mind into it. Just like a practice, I was doing it. And slowly and steadily, when I started seeing the result, my interest in learning quantum physics and learning how the molecules, atoms work with this energy, what actually this energy does to our body. So it opened up a whole new science world for me.
This is something that needs a little time to digest, that you can sit somewhere and you can heal somebody who is farther away from you. How does positive and negative energy affect us on a day-to-day basis?
Okay, so let me explain you in a very simpler way, so that you and everyone can understand who is listening to this. The energy is never positive or negative.
Right.
As you rightly said in the starting, energy cannot be created, cannot be destroyed. It is just there. It will transform.
Right.
What happens in our body is, we usually, right from our birth, as we start getting our experiences, our thought process starts developing.
Right.
As we are growing up, we are increasing with our thought process, our assumptions, our presumptions, and our perceptions about lives. We accumulate. So our body is not actually capable of handling lots of thoughts. It is researched that a body in a day can only handle 60,000 thoughts a day. Whatever energy you are generating in your body through your food, through your breath, through water, it can only cater to 60,000 thoughts. But if you see your right now life with so much of stress, so much of running around, so much of things, doing multitasking, so your thought level is somewhere around 7 to 10 lakhs.
Correct.
And your body capacity is only 60,000.
Exactly.
So the gap is too big for any physical body to handle. What happens when this gap becomes bigger? Energy is not there in the body, so it creates 3 times more stress on each organ of the body. And slowly, because there is a depletion of energy, or there is a gap of energy, the organs also starts deteriorating, or wear and tear starts happening. That is how you start falling ill, or you start developing issues and problems. So it is more of the thought process that handles your energy levels in your body. If you're overthinker, or you think too much, or if there's too much of stress, fear, then all the energy will deplete very fast.
Correct.
And how do you know all this is like, suppose if you wake up in the day and you say, no, I still want to sleep more, I'm not fresh. That itself is showing that body does not have energy to do work. Or if you've woken up early, by 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, you again have the urge to sleep, or you feel tired. By evening, you feel that, I should be left alone. I don't want to do anything.
Right.
So these are the symptoms when it shows that there is a depletion of energy, or energy is not there. And this cannot be replaced by eating or, breathing at that moment of time. We are not even aware that all such things are happening in the body.
Oh my God.
It does have effect, but your thoughts have more effect. Your thoughts are actually ruling the energy in the body.
Okay. So would you suggest that on a day-to-day basis, we have to make sure that we are more aware of what we are thinking, and try to
Yes.
make sure that we reduce the level of stress on ourselves uh,
Yes.
to improve the energy. Oh,
Yes.
I just realized when you said it that, we have been thinking around 10 lakh thoughts. And
Yeah.
that is exactly I feel, because every single time I'm sitting and doing something, I have 10 other thoughts going on in my head. So if
Yeah.
I
So
don't think I'm able to focus on one thing, because there are so many distractions also around. There is always,
yeah, that are the symptoms. Our body is an output device which gives you the symptoms.
right.
Like how a hardware and a software works on a computer.
Uh-huh.
So what our software inside is our thoughts.
Correct.
So how you think is how your body will be.
My God.
It is as simple as that.
I would like to know what are the different types of healing, and what all have you practiced till now?
Yeah. So before I come to that, I would also like to add one more thing to your previous asked question about
Def-
energy.
Definitely.
There is one more thing with the thoughts that work and deplete your energy, or you feel loss or lack of energy, are your emotions.
Huh.
So it is said that energy in motion is called emotion.
Okay.
So when you emote and when you cannot emote and when you store certain emotions,
Uh-huh.
your pathways of energies get blocked.
Okay.
That also creates stress in the body. Now,
Uh,
how does this healing methods or the healing modalities work?
mhm.
In past, say 20 years, I may have learned 19 different therapies, from going with Reiki, healing, crystal healing,
Mhm.
past life regression, then
Okay.
numerology, EFT, graphology, acupressure,
Ooh.
and tarot reading, angel therapy, spiritual healing, plenty of other things that I have learned.
Mhm.
So all these modalities actually help in clearing all these blockages and bridging the gap of the energy that I just told you.
Okay. So when you say that an emotion stored, so uh, for example, I am sad about a certain event in my life, and I do not address that issue at that point of time. After a certain while, I this is what I'm interpreting, that that emotion turns into a stress which causes some kind of ailment in our body.
That is yes, exactly, that is what I'm trying to tell you. What
Okay.
happens is, right from the childhood,
Uh-huh.
we have never been taught the mechanism to handle our emotions.
Right.
We don't know what to do when we are fearful. We don't know what to do when we are sad.
Uh-huh.
Is it okay to emote or is it not okay to emote? What will other think? That is the first question in our mind.
Correct. Correct. Exactly.
So what happens when, as you're growing and when you're experiencing certain things in that situations,
Uh-huh.
you store certain kind of information in your body, and each cell of your body has those memory cells.
Mm-hmm.
So that event gets stored. So if I tell you that, Amrita, do you remember when did you fall and where did you get hurt?
Mm.
So immediately your hand will go to that part of the hurt, and
Correct.
each and every memory will come alive.
Uh-huh.
Why? Because that is stored there.
Right.
So we don't know how to remove it. And every time that you take a step in future,
Hmm.
it has certain connection with your past memories.
Oh,
So
okay.
what happens? You are seeing your future with the glasses of your past. So it doesn't allow you to have a clear vision. It does not free you to have a free step ahead. That bounds your growth. That does not allow you to blossom like a flower. That does not allow you to open up. Why? Because there are so many perceptions that you have collected from those situations, and it may not be true, but you have absorbed it.
Based on the environment that we are in and the kind of experiences that we have created a
Yeah.
perception about the environment around us, and
Yes.
that is how we have been functioning for so long. And once we clear those
Yes.
blockages is when we will be able to move forward.
Correct. And
Right.
you have to learn to live in present.
Correct. which we keep on.
So every moment that we are in, either we are connecting ourselves to the past, or we are thinking about the future.
True.
So that moment is not being enjoyed.
Either we think what has happened or what next. I don't think we are ever here.
That is why all the problems that you see around are there.
True. Absolutely true. So we have to be more mindful. Is definitely something.
You have to be more aware. That is what I feel. Everyone should be more aware of what is happening instead of just getting carried away.
True. Okay. So, well, you mentioned that you have learned Reiki also. So, what are the benefits of practicing it? And can anybody learn it?
Yeah, anyone and everyone can learn Reiki, right from the age of 6 years to any age can learn Reiki. Reiki is basically universal life force, or it is a Japanese word, and it came in late 1800th century. It was found in Japan, and so it is called as Reiki in Japan. But what benefit it has? It has plenty of benefits. Basically, we only talk about physical healing, and we only know that for anything that goes wrong in this chemical body, we need chemicals to repair it, and it is right also. But what disturbs this chemical is your emotion and your mind. Unless and until you heal your mind, you heal your emotions, your chemical body is not going to be what it is. It means it will not become normal. So Reiki healing actually touches all three bodies. It allows you to heal your physical problem, it allows you to heal your emotional problem, it allows you to heal your mental issues. So benefits are any number of benefits are there. Means if I sit and count, it will, firstly it will give you relaxation, secondly it will help you become a better evolved human being, coming out of a small ailment like a headache to cancer, and mentally it allows you to come out of your depression and all mental and emotional issues that people have, harmony issues between relationships, or it is workplace environment is not good. So everywhere the energy allows you to be 100% healthy, and internally also you feel healthy about it. Generally we only talk about physical health.
Correct.
So even if you're physical healthy, it does not really mean that you are internally also healthy.
So when someone is practicing Reiki, they have to be present in the present moment, or it is possible that
Reiki automatically brings you in the present moment. That is the beauty of Reiki. It is purely an appropriate energy for the body, whatever is required for the body, and as soon as you means, that is what I have observed and felt in so many years, that it allows you to be in the present.
Right.
There are levels in Reiki, and like in first level you have to be physically present to heal or to get healed. But after you go into advanced levels, you can heal somebody who is not even around you or physically present with you. Reiki actually allows you to heal your inner memories. What happens is, like, we have stored a trauma, our emotions, our mental stress, false belief system, physical distress, environmental stress, and other blocks which doesn't allow you to grow. So it basically heals all those patterns that you have formed. So from childhood, we have a pattern system which we just develop, and we work through those patterns. Like suppose for example, if as I said, I was a short tempered, so for every small reason I used to get angry. So that was my pattern.
Right.
So slowly, while healing myself, that pattern dissolved. And only when that pattern dissolves, that problem is cured permanently.
So you found the root cause of the problem. Once you found the root cause, then everything shatters. Your belief system.
And it happens automatically. You don't have to stress over it. it happens automatically over it's I would rather say it's a sadhana,
Right.
and it is basically connecting yourself to the universal energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I generally tell this to my students that when you are one drop in the ocean, so how will be your power if the entire ocean joins you?
Yes. Yeah, that is what I realized, that we somewhere as humans in the present generation have stopped spending time for ourselves. That me time that our previous generation, like our parents, used to get when they used to come back home
Yeah.
and they had time to interact with their family, and spend time with their family or spend time with themselves, reading a book maybe. That is somewhere going out in today's
Yeah.
generation, because it's so hectic, the kind of jobs that we are doing. Maybe because of
Yes.
that we are unaware of, or we are not able to be in the current present situation, and we
Correct.
always on and on and on. So that is
Yeah, we
why.
want quick fixes. We want quick
Exactly.
fixes, and we want fast solutions in the fast-paced life. But
Yes.
body is not coping up with it.
Exactly, and that is why there are so many ailments.
Yes,
Oh,
there are so many elements.
because I don't know whether it's relevant with this, but I was working once for 1 year outside of my native place where I am located right now,
Yeah.
and so I used to work for around 18 hours a day, and sometimes even 27 hours a day. I used to, come back home the next day, and
Oh,
so I did this for 1 year. We didn't even get weekends. The job was very hectic. The boss was also very amazing, is the word I would like to use. So after a period of time, after 1 year, I started falling ill consistently. So I used to get a sty in my eye, and
yeah.
so the doctor there, he couldn't find a cure. So he said, maybe you have diabetes.
Correct.
So I said,
Oh,
okay, maybe let's get it tested. So then he said, no, you don't have diabetes. So then, so what happens? So if this one eye gets cured, then the other eye gets
it
affected.
will come in the other eye. Yeah.
So then it was continuously happening. So if one eye it was switching between both the eyes.
Correct.
So then finally the doctor just told me one thing: I don't know what you're doing in your real life. If you are, I think your work is stressing you out. So whatever you're doing, please leave it and go back home.
Yeah.
And that is what
Yeah.
I did, and I got cured.
Correct. So that is what, see, we don't even listen when our bodies are giving us signals. We are
Yes.
so unaware that we do not even hear our own signals. We cannot connect to ourselves. What
Right.
is our true self? What is exactly what we want? We are
Mhm.
not sure.
That is true.
So I come across so many young generation children of 10th, 12th, first year.
Mhm.
They are just confused. They just don't know what to do. They do not know what is their inner calling. They just want to do what others are doing.
True.
So there is so much of peer pressure around.
That is true.
So it yeah. So then the connect is lost. So
Mhm.
I feel all this energy healing modalities bring you back to yourself. Whether
Right.
it is EFT, whether it is Reiki, whether it is any other healing modality, it brings you back to your own self. To
Mhm.
unless and until you are with yourself, you cannot be with anybody.
True. Well, when you talk about EFT, that is emotional freedom technique, you
Yeah,
teach it also to your students. So why
yeah,
would
I
you
do.
recommend it? And I realize that you have to find the root cause of the problem also, because I read about it a little. So you have to find the root
Yeah,
cause of your problem, and then that is how the healing starts. So what kind of questions should one
correct.
ask to find the root cause?
Yeah, so I'll just explain you what EFT is. EFT is all about uh, tapping psychologically on your meridian points, like how acupressure and acupuncture works.
Right.
On the same line, EFT says that if you tap on your meridians,
Mm-hmm.
then all this emotional stress that is stored, first thing that gets released.
Right.
Another thing, very beautifully, what EFT does and why it is more successful is
Mm-hmm.
because it stops the cortisol. Now, cortisol is a hormone that is secreted by our brain when there is fear or flee or flight mode.
Right. Right. Right.
Generally, when there's a lion in front of you, either you the mind says either you fight it out or
Right.
you run away.
Yes.
So that is the time that cortisol from amygdala in the brain gets secreted. But right now, the scenario is such, we don't need a lion. The work is so much that 24/7 cortisol is secreted.
True.
So EFT stops the flow of this cortisol. So what happens? Our meridians gets a breather.
Okay.
It's like how on the road there are bumps to stop your speed. Similarly, when you tap on certain meridians of your body, it breaks you from that cortisol. That is the first. Second, it is a positive psychological affirmations to face your own problems.
Right.
Like suppose somebody has lots of fear. Now I handled one case. You'll get a better idea if I tell you share this case with you.
Definitely.
That there was a person who wanted to earn, had a very high goal for himself. He wanted to earn 40 lakhs a year.
Okay.
And it was easily possible. But he says, as soon as that time of increment or promotion comes, I don't get the score. If everyone is getting 12% and I used to get only 6 to 7%, though I worked so hard. Then I asked, okay, you tell me what is that is stopping you from that success? Is it the fear that you can't make it? Or is it that you feel that you don't deserve it? So when talking, he came to a conclusion that I feel that, I always had this feeling that I'm not worth.
Oh, right. Whatever.
So 40 lakhs, I'm not worth of that 40 lakh. So he was operating from this inner feeling of his.
Correct.
Though he was capable, but he had blocked himself from getting that success. So after doing EFT, when he removed this block, we worked on this block with him for say 4 to 5 sittings. Once this block was removed, he was okay and his performance was extremely good. And in next 6 months, he got his increment also.
Wow.
So EFT actually deals with your own blocks. That is how the therapy works.
Okay. Because I tried, I saw it on the net, so I don't know how logical it is on the net. There are a lot of people putting information out there.
Yes.
So I just tried a few tapping techniques on the meridian points. I did not use affirmations because I didn't know how to find it. So
correct.
So I did the tapping, and just doing the tapping also, as you said, I felt a tiny bit of relief. I mean, I don't know whether I was
lots of relaxation.
Yes. It does relax, because I don't know whether I was in stress, but then I felt calmer by maybe 2%.
Yes.
So
yes, it does help in that way. Then that is why it is mostly practiced by all the psychotherapists and all the counselors. It is the easiest and the best way to get relief from your problems. So I would rather put it, Reiki is a practice. EFT is a must.
You train together in EFT as well? Because I think one of
I do train people in EFT. I do train people in Reiki, Crystal. I do take regular meditations.
Okay. So how much time does it take for anyone to learn this art, like EFT?
EFT learning is around 4 to 5 hours.
4 to 5 hours.
Okay. 5 hours, yeah. Basic level of basic EFT can be learned in 4 to 5 hours.
Okay, so there are levels in EFT as well.
Not levels, I would not put it as levels, but there are little more deeper practices. Once you do the basic practice, steps are the same, but the affirmations and the way you do the affirmations do change.
Right. As you said that it brings thoughts to reality, EFT brings thoughts to reality. So how does that happen?
So once you're tapping, like this person was tapping for I want increment. And while he was talking, he understood that no, the cause is something different. There is fear, or there is a block that says that I don't deserve the money. So while tapping and when you're talking to yourself, when you're just going inside with one thought, so what is stored inside comes up. And it comes up automatically. You don't have to push yourself into it. It comes automatically. So what is stored in the cells comes to the mind.
Mhm.
So you reach to the core cause, and when you cross the core cause, you are cured.
Okay, exactly. So you find that this is what is stopping me from getting what I want,
Correct.
because I
Yes.
believe that I don't deserve it. And when I find that this is the
Correct.
reason why I'm not getting it, I work on it
Yes. Correct.
like that. Okay, okay. Now I get
Yeah.
it. So, well, you've learned tarot card reading and angel card reading as well. Can this skill
Yeah.
be acquired, or is it a gift that one possesses?
No. These are the skills that anybody can acquire, but yes, there has to be first liking towards it.
Right.
Second, there has to be little intuitive mind to work on it,
Mhm.
because these are all different skills. It can be acquired, but
Okay.
people who are keenly interested into doing it, helping people, guiding people, they will usually take all this tarot reading, angel reading. They are basically, they are cards which interpret. Predictions are done through those cards.
Okay.
So you may gain insights into the past, present, or future just by formulating a question. You put a question and we do the reading.
Okay. So if I ask you any question, you can tell me exactly, is it exact science,
Yeah.
or is it based on the current mindset or scenario that I'm in?
See, it depends on who is reading the card. As I said, it has a little bit of intuitive nature in that. Yeah, an intuitive skill also should work with it.
Mhm.
Then it comes, most of the time it comes correct, because it is also based on energy science.
Correct.
So it gives you the near approximate, I would say, not exact, it is approximately you reach 99.9%.
Okay.
But even it depends on both. The person who is asking question also has to have faith on what.
Right. That is what I wanted to
Yeah.
know.
If there is no faith, then it does not work.
Exactly. So if, for example, I'm a skeptic and
Yeah.
I come to you, so I don't believe that whatever you say is going to work. And
Correct.
I ask you a certain question and you give me an answer to it. But I, in my head, don't believe that whatever you are saying is going to come true. So will it work, or won't it work?
It won't work.
It won't work at all.
It won't work.
So I have to be.
Yeah, it has to be belief. Like,
Right.
many people are atheists. They don't believe on God. But does it make that the God is not there, the energy is not there? No, it is their belief system. They want to go against and they want to prove everything, but it works for them. They are also happy. So there's nothing good or bad or right or wrong. I feel it is the faith.
Perspective.
It is on the faith you are living on.
So then again, I have this one tiny query adjacent to
Yeah.
this. So when you say that these are the events that are going to unfold, this is what is going to happen in your life, and I don't
Yeah.
believe it.
Yeah.
But will it eventually happen with me anyway? I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
if it is,
I don't know
see,
whether
there
I'm
is,
able
no,
to
I
feel
understood
the
what you're trying to ask me. You are
Okay.
just asking me that if there is say an accident written after
Yes,
6 months,
exactly.
but
Yes,
I don't believe it. So will it
correct.
happen or not?
Exactly.
Correct. So see, if it is a destined journey you are going on, and the person is reading it, and if it is said that there is an accident, yes, there will be an accident.
Okay.
But there is one possibility here. If the person says, I don't believe onto all this, I will see, somewhere in his subconscious mind, he has already prepared his mind to fight against this.
Correct.
I want to prove or I want to deny that this accident will not happen.
Correct.
So mind continuously is working on some positive framework that there should not be an accident. So the intensity of that whole event will be very, very minimal.
अच्छा. Right.
वो
So,
कहते हैं ना, वो क्या, वो कुछ बहुत बड़ा घा एक सुई के नोक से चला जाता है, समथिंग लाइक दैट.
हाँ, मतलब बस छू के चला जाता है. But होता
हाँ,
है.
छू के चला.
कुछ तो
या
छोटा सा
होता है.
नन्हा सा होता है. Even if.
Yes.
So eventually it
Yeah,
does.
because that is what I've seen last 12 years. I've been practicing tarot and I've been guiding so many thousands and thousands of people till date. And it has come true. I will not deny that things that come on the cards doesn't happen. But yes, intensity may differ depending on the person's capabilities.
If, for example, I come to you with a problem and I want a tarot card reading or an angel card reading done, how does it work,
Yeah.
and how do you provide guidance to someone who does that?
So, there are two ways. Now it is in lockdown, I do online.
Right.
So I connect to the energy of the person and I do the reading on call or on video call. Or another way is one-to-one. When you come, it is person will ask a question, will pull the cards with his or her hand, and then I will interpret and read the card.
Okay.
So both ways it is coming right, and both ways it is working good.
So you're saying that the person is not necessary to be physically present when you read the energy?
Not necessary.
So how do you do that? How do you read the energy of someone who's far away?
It just happens. There is no, I do not have any 1, 2, 3 formula for that.
Right.
It just happens. Like suppose if I want to read for Amrita and I keep her in my mind and I just ask whatever she wants to know, and the answer comes.
I might try this.
When the response, you may. The response is when you get from the client, make you affirm on what you are doing.
Okay.
Yeah. So now if 100 people are telling me that what you are giving the solution is matching to our life, so that is how the proof comes, okay, what we are doing is it going in the right direction.
Correct. So after practicing healing for so long, now you know the energies of people. So so when does it happen to you that you meet somebody and then you you can just feel their aura? Is it?
Yeah, you
just
feel
sense
their
whether
aura.
they are happy, unhappy, or what is going on in their head.
You have heard the word vibes,
right,
good vibes, bad vibes.
Right.
What the full form of vibe is vibration.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is said that every body has a vibration. Every living thing, non-living thing is vibrating. So when you are vibrating, when you are happy, you will be vibrating at a very high frequency. So that vibrations will spread around. When you are sad, when you are low, when you are stressed, your vibrations are very low. When you are very angry, you are vibrating at a lower frequency. Still, the person around you can make out.
Right. So is it possible that I can transfer my energy to someone else? I mean, no. So if I'm
not through any healing technique, no.
Okay.
You can never pass your energies. Yes, you can become a catalyst, or you can become a medium to pass the energy, but not your energy.
Okay, so it's the energy from the universe that you are putting.
Yeah, which we just become what to say, just a medium to transfer it to somebody else.
Okay. Is there any other experience of energy healing that has been really memorable? Something that was really unexpected and it happened?
Oh, like that? There are plenty of cases.
Can you share one of them?
There are so many experiences in the past so many years. I've been healing. Every day there are healings of 10 to 12 people. And I cannot specify whether it works on physical, because I have, like now I get patients for COVID.
Right.
Yeah. So, and they get transformed. When doctors are saying that, the patient lungs are not working or they are going to be put on ventilator, and when we heal and the results are like, there are drastic changes in their parameters.
Okay. So you have been healing COVID patients now?
Yeah, I am healing COVID patients, and my basic job is to heal and to provide energy. So I do that.
So do you do it physically? Are you physically present, or are you doing it from far?
No, I'm not physical. I do absent healing.
Okay.
And one memorable experience that you were asking me is about my own self only. When doctors told me that, it is difficult for you to conceive, and because of my meningitis, and so I was told by doctors that it will not be easy for you to conceive, and you will have to undertake treatments and all that. And I conceived without any treatment, and I delivered. So that was a very different experience and a very memorable one. There are plenty, but I don't right now can't even spot which is the best one out of it. But this is one of my best own experience that I can share.
Definitely. This is like I don't think there is anything better than this. When someone tells you that you cannot bear a child and well, you have a beautiful daughter. So definitely.
Yes.
So
So see, you remember what happens with your own life, right? They are all milestones in your own life.
mhm.
So my daughter is one of my milestone of Reiki, where I practiced and it worked.
Wow, you're giving me inspiration to maybe get into this and try some kind of learn some form of energy healing, at least for
See,
myself.
according to me, each and every individual should learn one form of energy healing,
Mhm.
because energy is the only thing that they're connected with and they're unaware about.
True.
So
That.
if you can balance your energy of your body, you can be mentally, physically, emotionally healthy,
Hmm.
and then you can take any challenges in your life. Right now, because you are not stable in one of these areas, either mentally you are not fit, emotionally you are down,
Hmm.
physically you are not okay, you are not able to 100% give your 100% to anything that you're doing.
True.
So any mode of energy healing will help you balance. It will help you balance your whole life.
I am sure I will definitely practice one of them. I'm really
Yes.
inspired by, and plus your stories, the kind of changes that you have brought in your own life. I
Yes.
just wanted to know, how do your clients find you? Um, is there a
Oh,
website?
that's an interesting question.
Yes.
Yeah, I do have my website and I do have, but there are no ads for me. It is always person to person, spread mouth of word.
Mhm.
That has worked always,
Right.
because see, somewhere if you get an experience, then only you will share something. By
Correct.
reading about Reiki or by reading about EFT or tarot, however attractive words I use, it is not going to appeal. But
Correct.
your friend telling you that this has changed in my life by doing this, that
Mhm.
will inspire you more. For me, it has always been, in so many years, it has been a mouth to mouth publicity.
Mhm.
Yes, now with coping up with the present situation, I do have my website where all the information about Reiki, about all the courses that I teach,
Mhm.
about my journey are mentioned.
Mhm.
It's on the name of Sukshma Urja.
Okay.
Sukshma Urja means subtle energy,
Okay.
the energy which cannot be seen, but it is the most powerful energy of yours.
Mhm.
So that is the name of my organization, my center, which I operate from.
Okay.
I'm based in Pune.
Okay. So, but anyone can reach you even if they want to.
Yeah, they can. All the informations are available on my website.
Done. So, ma'am, how is a typical day in your life?
Typical day begins with it begins at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
It begins with pranayam, with meditation, with Reiki practice,
Uh-huh.
and I finish all my practices before 7.
Mhm.
Then it is a family time, all the daily course of the family
Hmm.
till 11, and then I do my client calls and my healings until 5 o'clock. I'm busy with all my clients and all my healing courses. Then again it goes, rest of the time till 7 goes with the family,
Mhm.
and we have dinner early, we sleep early.
Early to bed and early to rise formula.
Yes,
I think
yes.
that is the best.
Yeah, my day begins at 5 and ends at 10.
Oh, wow. I try to end it at 10. It has
Yes.
never been like that till date. But I'll
Yeah.
definitely do so from now on.
Yeah,
So, ma'am.
meditation helps a lot in calming your mind. So I feel meditation is must. Even if 5 minutes anybody can do, it is I think a good start of life, good start of a day.
Um, I would agree with this because I started doing meditation, I think 3 4 months ago, and
Yeah,
I do it for 5 minutes, not more than that. But I realize that the days I don't do meditation, I am more edgy.
correct.
I will rather be. I mean, I won't be calm or I will be continuously distracted thinking about different
Yeah.
things. But when I do meditation
Yeah,
for
people have myth when they hear the word meditation, they feel, oh, it is
yes,
not our age, and where we will sit and do, we don't know how to concentrate. And people come to me, oh, we cannot even close our eyes for 5 minutes. And then when they sit beautifully for half an hour, and they realize it is nothing about concentration. It is nothing that they have to focus. It is all about relaxation.
exactly. Beautifully for half an hour was really funny. Uh, but yes, I know because so when you say meditation, it's basically mindful breathing, just breathing and being
Yeah,
in the moment
breathing.
for 2 minutes.
There are many ways to do meditation. If somebody cannot do mindful breathing,
Uh-huh.
they can be first guided into a guided meditation, some visualizations,
Right.
and then slowly they can evolve into breathing, because
Okay.
anapanasati, that is inhalation exhalation, is the
Mhm.
base of meditation.
Okay. 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 So there are many types in meditation also. I didn't know this.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought it's
There are
mostly
many
mindful.
levels to grow in meditation.
Okay. Can you elaborate on that if you don't mind?
You basically you evolve in meditation. So
Mhm.
meditation is all, as you said, it begins with breathing only.
Mhm.
But breathing can be manipulated. It can be what to say, increased or decreased with
Mhm.
your own mind,
Okay.
and you can create changes in your body. But for a beginner, it is only about inhalation, and then they can gradually do from 5 minutes of breathing to 10 minutes of visualization,
Uh,
and then through guided meditations, and then they can increase. It is said that as per your age, whatever is your age, you should sit and do that many minutes of meditation.
oh, I have to sit for a long time then.
Yeah, so if you begin with 5 minutes, yes, eventually you have to reach to your age.
Done.
That is ideal time for your meditation.
Okay, I will definitely try to reach my age. Let's see
Yeah,
if that
but there
happens.
are plenty of benefits of it. There are innumerable benefits of meditation. So even though I do Reiki, EFT,
Mhm.
I still will meditate, and meditation is something that it has become an eternal part of me.
Right.
So if I get time, I can sit for, I don't know, many hours. I can sit.
Yeah, this is one query that I have, which is uh, something that I would like to put across. I don't know whether it's silly or not. So when I sit for meditation, when you said you sit for 3 hours, if I sit for 16 to 17 minutes also, I might get a little itchy, or I get a back pain,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
there is some other thought that comes into my head.
That's
Um,
okay. Let them come.
okay.
It is absolutely fine. That is what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
Meditation is nothing that you have to achieve, nothing that you have to try, nothing that you have to see or seek.
Hmm.
It is just to be there and let everything in your body relax, but with alert consciousness.
Okay. So you're aware of your body, but just that it's
Yeah.
not doing anything.
Whatever is happening, let it just happen.
Okay. So even if there is
So
back pain, just to
observing,
accept it.
yeah, let it be. Let it be. Even if you're feeling itchy, let it be. You itch and you again start. So there's nothing that it has to be a very ideal this and ideal that. No, meditation is all about going within. So once you start practicing, you start connecting back, you start, even if the thoughts are coming, let them come. Then you will go beyond your thoughts. So it is a gradual progression. There's nothing 1 2 3 again. It is a gradual progression. You will start falling. No, this is like too less a time. Oh, 20 minutes happened, I didn't even realize. So it's a gradual progression. But yes, what you have started 5 minutes, you have to continue till you feel, no, I can do it for 10 minutes also.
Correct.
But that has to come from within, not by force, not by any pressure, not to achieve anything. I love to sit 10 minutes, and then you start doing it 10 minutes.
I think everything should come from within. If it doesn't come from within, then you're going
Yes.
against the flow, and there's friction.
Yeah,
That friction is what causes a lot
correct.
of problems.
Yes. And your
Uh,
body knows the best.
Definitely it does. And it gives you signals at all points of time. So we should listen.
Correct.
What is that one message that you would like to give people who are trying energy healing but are hesitant to, they want to do it, but they are hesitant to do so?
I feel they should just have faith and take a dip into any one energy healing course and they have to follow. I feel consistently practicing brings result. There is no easy shortcut to any energy. It is a parallel healing system. And it is not there to claim anything or to prove anything that medical science is wrong. No, medical science is equally important for our chemical body. But realization about your emotional, mental health is also important. And for that health, you have to give at least a few minutes to yourself. And you have to do it with faith. Like energy, you can't see anything. Energy is to be felt. That is why I usually say that you have to experience. And to experience, you have to at least take a risk of doing one course. You may never know. You may like it. No medicine can give you happiness. There is no pill to happiness. There is no pill to take away your anger, jealousy. They are all the things that needs to be worked, or they are things that you need to change from within. And for that, you require lots of energy. That's why one should learn energy healing.
Right. So you have to make sure that you are conscious about the kind of emotions that are coming up, address it, and then make sure that you're not suppressing them, rather working with them and getting over it, hopefully.
Correct.
Yes.
So I feel everyone should be healthy, internally as well as externally.
Well, coming to the last question, well, the podcast is called Unsettling. I ask people what is their definition of settled, because everyone around us ask us to get settled. And as you said, the 16-year-olds are also very confused because of this, because they are under this pressure of getting settled early, that they don't find time for themselves.
So for me, settling is settling in every moment that you are in. If you're just contented and you are just what you are, you just accept the way you are, and you are in your present moment, you are settled. If you're not in your present moment trying to achieve something, you will always remain unsettled. So according to me, settlement is within you. You are contented in this present moment, you are settled.
With this, I think I've come to the end of my interview. And thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing so much information about all this. I guess.
Thank you, Amrita, for this opportunity. I hope people, whatever their myths and doubts about energy healing are covered.
Yes. And I hope they reach out to you if they have any other doubts. And they are able to find an answer to whatever questions they have.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, ma'am. I will make sure that people are aware of your website. And I will be adding the links in the description as well, so that everyone and anyone who wants to get in touch with you can do so. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Sure.
Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thank you. It was lovely talking to you. Thank you.
Lovely talking to you too, ma'am.
Yeah. Hello, people. Thank you for tuning in. If you like this episode and you like Unsettling, all you have to do is give me a feedback. And for that, please visit my Instagram page, that is amritasukumar_unsettling. And well, you can send me a DM or you can send me a mail. All the details are there on that page. I would love for you to just tell me how you feel. Yeah. And I will get back to you. And if you have any people who would like to share their stories, you have to let me know, because I would love to listen to them. Till then, stay tuned to Unsettling. Like, share, subscribe, follow, let your friends know, and stay safe. Yeah? Bye.